Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Brazelton, Georgia and the Lanier National Speedway for round number 1 of the B-Main Bandits King of Wings series, featuring the Wing 305 and 410 sprint cars. Final practice just winding down here at the Lanier National Speedway. Good high bank 3/8 mile oval. Quick time tonight going to be the 012 of Bowen Smith, 12.449. 14 cars registered to take part tonight. Had 2 cars join and not unload off the trailer tonight, so we will have 14 cars going to go for a 30-lap A-Main tonight. But first, 3 heat races to get us started. Heat race number 1 for the 410 sprint cars rolling out now. Starting on the pole, coming to you out of LaPorte, Texas, that's going to be the B-Main Bandits 5150 Racing number 50 of Joey Smith. To his outside out of Paris, Tennessee, that's going to be the Jackson McLean Racing B-Main Bandits number 81 of Jackson McLean. Inside of row number 2, the Aces up Sim Sports, Scott Thomason Racing, and Fan Sim Racing number 27 of Chad Griggs. To his outside, the Greg Hodnett Tribute, the 012 machine, that's going to be the Bullet, Bowen Smith. And starting at the tail end of the field, coming to you out of Joplin, Missouri, the AMT Racing Services B-Main Bandits number 69 of Austin Thornton. There we go, we got 5 cars, going to go for 8 laps around the Lanier National Speedway. Green flags in the air, and we're racing. Joey Smith around the bottom side of the speedway, Jackson McLean to the high side. Smith going to hold on to the bottom, actually going to lead lap number 1. McLean just getting it wound up on the high side. Trying to use the momentum, starts closing the gap on Smith for the lead. Jackson McLean going to lead lap number 2. Smith stays to the inside. Griggs even lower. He now pulls side by side with Smith. Taps the brakes, let him go, and now he's to the inside of him. Smith about gets split each way. Smith and Smith get together. Bowen Smith into the wall, now down pit road. Coming across this time, 4 laps down, 4 laps to go. Jackson McLean, your leader. Chad Griggs in second. Joey Smith running in third. Austin Thornton in fourth. Bowen Smith back on track at the tail end of the field. McLean rolling around the high side right at the wall. Got a 1-second advantage over Chad Griggs in second. 2 laps to go for McLean. Griggs is also rolling around the high side of the speedway. Smith up high, a little bit more of a slider line into the wall off turn number 2. Austin Thornton rolling around wherever he can find some grip. White flag is out for Jackson McLean into turn number 3, out of turn number 4. Coming across the stripe, Jackson McLean going to win heat race number 1. Griggs in second, Joey Smith third, Austin Thornton fourth, and Bowen Smith rounds out the field. Heat race number 2 making their way out onto the speedway, starting on the pole for heat race number 2 out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Passing Points podcast, Scott Thomason Racing number 6 of Scott Thomason. To his outside was supposed to be Byron Gay out of Spencerville, Ohio, did not make the grid. So now to his outside is going to be the number 24 of Noah Bowman out of Springfield, Illinois. Inside of row number 2 is going to be the 71 of Wade Fields. He's got 53 on the machine, got him registered as the 71. And rolling out on the tail end of the field out of Hudson, North Carolina, Mr. I Can't Turn on Dirt, Richie Joplin with the Steve Kinzer Tribute, number 08. Looks like we're going to have 4 cars this time, going for 8 laps. Field works into 3 out of turn number 4. Green flags in the air, we're racing. Scott Thomason up to the high side of the speedway. Bowman through the middle, Fields to the bottom. I apologize for SDK timing being a little bit behind. We are not at 5 laps to go already. Byron Gay makes it out of the pits, trying to stay out ahead of the leaders. Thomason still leading, rolling around the cushion. There we go. Now our timing and scoring is correct. Thomason gets into the wall out of turn number 2. Looks like he knocks the front end out of the car. That's going to give Noah Bowman the lead. So we start working lap number 3. See if Bowman has anything to catch Byron Gay. 4 laps down, 4 laps to go. Noah Bowman right around the fence on the high side. Gets ahead of Byron Gay. Gay goes to the bottom. Lets him have that top line, carry that momentum as he drives past him. 3 laps to go. Wade Fields running in second. Richie Joplin, and possibly his first ever start in a 410 sprint car, currently running third in this heat race. Bowman comes around, 2 laps to go, still pushing the cushion as high as he can. Wade Fields trying to follow suit, also rolling around the high side of the speedway. White flag is out for Noah Bowman, 1 lap to go. Smooth and steady on the top shelf out of turn number 4. Checkered flag flies. Noah Bowman going to win heat race number 2. Wade Fields in second. Richie Joplin third. Byron Gay fourth. Scott Thomason rounds out the field. Third and final heat race making their way around for the 410 sprint cars. Starting on the pole, making his debut in the 410 sprint cars tonight, Cody Kennedy out of Corunna, Michigan, the Kyle Larson tribute, number 63. To his outside, making his debut with the B-Main Bandits Racing League, Ricky Mandonka, the KYB number 46. Scheduled to start inside. Looks like he's going to inherit the lead with Cody Kennedy taking the EOL. Coming to you out of Anadarko, Oklahoma, the Crow Racing. Aces Up Sim Sports, Scott Thomason Racing, number 98 of Ryan Paget. And rounding out your field of 4 cars, the league owner coming to you out of Granbury, Texas, the B-Main Bandits, AMT Racing Services, number 31 of Andrew Thornton. Here we go. Final heat race. Only 4 cars this time. Going to go for 8 laps. Ryan Paget wastes no time. We're on the loud pedal and racing in the third and final heat race. Ryan Paget right to the cushion. Andrew Thornton, Ricky Mandonka side by side for the second spot. Thornton rolling around the low side of the speedway. Clears Mandonka into turn number 1. Out of turn number 2. Looks like he's going to stay on the low side of the speedway all the way around. Starting to close the gap on Ryan Paget. Paget sticking to the high line just like Bowman did in the last heat race. A little bit of a misstep there up top. Currently has a 7/10 of a second lead over Andrew Thornton. Now cut that down to half a second as Thornton makes a good turn through 1 and 2. This time around, cross flags, 4 laps down, 4 laps to go. About to have a battle for the lead up front. Ryan Paget on the high side, Andrew Thornton catfishing around the low side. Trying to keep the cars straight and be really patient on the throttle to run the bottom. Paget into the front straightaway wall. Trying to carry the momentum on the high side. Thornton clears him down the back straightaway. We come down 2 laps to go. Paget in the wall once again. Paget starting to slip the grip on the straightaways. Gets into the wall once again in 3 and 4. White flag is out one more time around for Andrew Thornton. Down the back straightaway, sticks to the bottom, rolls through 3 out of turn number 4. Checkered flag flies. Andrew Thornton going to win your third and final heat race. Ryan Paget second, Ricky Mandonka third, and Cody Kennedy rounds out your field of 4. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for heat race action for your 410 sprint cars here at the Lanier National Speedway. So now let's go back and take a look at the first A feature of the season from Limaland Motorsports Park earlier this week. So before we get too far into the 305 program, take a look at the special paint schemes on the front row. We'd like to sing happy birthday to one of our own. Oh, come on now. You think we can afford the royalties of that song on this channel? Nah, we'll spare you this time, Jackson. Anyway, into our racing program. Heat race number 1 for your 305 sprint cars at Limaland saw the 31 of Andrew Thornton hold off a hard-charging Chad Griggs in the 27 to get the heat race win. Heat race number 2 would see a returning Mike Henry, the number 92 machine, be able to hold off Wade Fields and Byron Gay to grab his heat race victory. And that would set our starting lineup for tonight's A feature. Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime for the first time this season. 305 sprint cars coming at you from the Limaland Motorsports Park. We've got 13 cars scheduled to go 30 laps around the quarter-mile bull ring, and your starting lineup looks like this. Starting on the pole tonight, coming to you out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, we got him registered as number 71. He's got number 8 on the wing. That's going to be Wade Fields. Starting to his outside, coming to you out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, is going to be the Maniac, Matt Moniak. Inside of row number 2, the Surge Performance, number 11 out of Spencerville, Ohio, it's Byron Gay. And starting to his outside, coming to you out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Scott Thomason Racing, Aces Up Sim Sports Passing Points Podcast, number 6 of Scott Thomason. Starting inside of row number 3 tonight, he comes to you out of Springfield, Illinois. He's got the B8 on the wing, got him registered in the leagues, number 24. That's going to be Noah Bowman. Scheduled to start to his outside, the Aces Up Sim Sports, Scott Thomason Racing, Advanced Sim Racing, number 27 of Chad Griggs. Starting inside of row number 4 tonight, heat race winner coming to you out of the Garden State of New Jersey. That's going to be Mike Henry Jr. in the 92. Starting to his outside, winner of heat race number 1, the league owner out of Granbury, Texas, the AMT Racing Services, and happy birthday, Jackson McLean, number 31 of Andrew Thornton. Rolling off from the 9th position tonight, coming to you out of Joplin, Missouri. That's going to be the AMT Racing Services B-Main Bandits, number 69 of Austin Thornton. And his outside, rolling off from the 10th starting spot tonight out of Anadarko, Oklahoma, the Crow Racing Aces Up Sim Sports, Scott Thomason Racing, number 98 of Ryan Paget. Starting the 11th position tonight, coming to you out of LaPorte, Texas, the 5150 Racing, happy birthday, Jackson McLean, number 50 of Joey Smith. Making his debut tonight with the B-Main Bandits Racing League out of Corona, Michigan. That's going to be the 12 of Cody Kennedy. And rounding out the field, out of Paris, Tennessee, the Jackson McLean Racing B-Main Bandits, number 81, usually known as the Wonder Boy. This week he is the Birthday Boy. Jackson McLean starts at the tail of the field. As the field makes their way into turn number 3 out of turn number 4, Matt Moniak drops to the tail, moves Scott Thomason to the outside front row. Wade Fields is on the loud pedal, and we're racing here at Limaland. 2 grooves immediately apparent with these 305 cars. Byron Gay trying to make it 3 wide already. Noah Bowman at the bottom, Wade Fields up top. Gay through the middle. Lap 1, give it to Wade Fields. Scott Thomason rolling around the cushion, trying to find his way back around Bowman. Trying to utilize the momentum that's oh so important in these 305 machines. Gay loose off the high side. That's going to bring out a yellow. Go back and take a look what happened with Byron Gay here. Just gets way loose up on the cushion, comes down, collects Fields. Looks like both cars able to continue on. So we'll re-rack them, restack them, and get them going with just a couple in the books. As we got them single file coming back to green, I stand corrected. The contact is with Noah Bowman and Byron Gay. Wade Fields continues to lead. Scott Thomason second. Chad Griggs in third. We're back underway. A little bit of contact between Scott Thomason and Chad Griggs for the second spot. Griggs still rolling around the low side of the speedway. Only driver on the bottom maintaining any sort of speed. Starts closing the gap on Fields. Single file around the high side behind them. Chad Griggs makes a run for the lead. Currently scored as the leader as we come off turn number 4. Chad Griggs is going to lead that lap. Wade Fields back to the high side. Thomason trying to follow down low. Ryan Paget, the big mover, rolling around the high side of the speedway, currently scored in the 4th position from the 10th starting spot. A little bit of contact between Thomason and Paget for the 3rd spot. Andrew Thornton with his hat in the ring, trying to make his way up into the 3rd position. Griggs making a complete circle out of the Limaland Motorsports Park, up high all the way by the wall of the straightaways and all the way down by the tires, the apex of the corners. Got a car up in the wall on the high side of the speedway. That's the 92 of Mike Henry. And it will draw the yellow. Go back and take a look at what happened with the 92 of Mike Henry. Looks like a big netcode incident there with him and Scott Thomason. Knocks the front end out of the race car. Comes to stop the high side of the speedway and draws the yellow. Here we go, coming back to green. Chad Griggs, Wade Fields, Ryan Paget, Thomason, and Andrew Thornton. Your top 5. Griggs fires in the middle of 3 and 4. We're back underway, working lap 11 of 30. Griggs all the way to the low side of the speedway. Fields tries to follow him. Ryan Paget pushing the cushion on the high side of the speedway. Using all that momentum, currently up from the 10th starting spot. He's into the wall, scrubs a little speed, maintains that 3rd spot. Good battle going on behind for the 5th position between Jackson McLean and Andrew Thornton. Both drivers struggling to maintain a line that works for them. Thornton running the middle of the speedway. McLean held down to the bottom. Big break in momentum as Noah Bowman working around the high side catches both of them. Got a 3-car dance for the 5th spot. Now Scott Thomason battling with Wade Fields for the 3rd position. Up front, Ryan Paget squeaks by and leads that lap over Chad Griggs. We're halfway home here. Paget been glued to the cushion all race long. The bottom starting to go away for Chad Griggs. Paget now clears Griggs by a little over a car length into 3 out of turn number 4. He's got him by about 3 cars coming across the stripe that time. Got contact. That's going to bring out a yellow flag. Go back and take a look at who was involved. Caution this time going to be charged to the 31 of Andrew Thornton. He's in that big battle for 5th place on back. Slips up off the bottom a little bit, gets into Noah Bowman, ends up facing the wrong way on a one-way street. Draws a yellow flag. Here we go, got it re-racked, restacked, and ready to go again. Ryan Paget, Chad Griggs, Wade Fields, your top 3. Paget fires, Griggs stumbles, gets a big jump into turn number 1. Griggs working a low side, tries to pull even with Paget. That momentum is tough to beat with these 305 machines. Working lap 20. A little bit further back, they're 3 wide for 3rd place on back. Scott Thomason has Wade Fields up high and Noah Bowman on the low side. Jackson McLean wants to throw his hat in the ring. He wants to find his way onto the podium. Fields clears Thomason for the moment. Thomason crosses him back by Jackson McLean down to the inside for 3rd. They're 3 wide for 4th, 5th, and 6th behind. On the high side, Noah Bowman using the momentum just like Ryan Paget. Thomason gets into the tires on the bottom side. Big cut down from Bowman. Cuts off both Fields and McLean to take the spot. This time by Noah Bowman's got the 3rd spot. Ryan Paget continues to lead. Chad Griggs all by himself in 2nd. Now the battle between McLean and Thomason for the 4th spot. Looks like it's just ending as McLean clears Thomason this time by. A little bit further back in the pack, got a battle going between the Thornton brothers and Joey Smith. Austin Thornton right to the tail tank of Andrew. Slides across the nose. Andrew crosses him back over. Going to slide him back into turns 3 and 4. Austin goes to cut down, gets into the back of Smith. 5 laps to go for Ryan Paget. He's stretched out his lead to 1.2 seconds over 2nd place Chad Griggs. Comes down this time by 4 laps to go. Griggs still trying to make that bottom side of the speedway work. Noah Bowman rolling the high side as well. Jackson McLean in fourth, also running the high side. 3 to go. Bowman to the tail tank of Griggs. A little bit of contact. This time Bowman tries to go under him. Griggs sets up to cross him over. And the yellow flag is out. Let's go back and see what brought out this yellow flag. Looks like this one's going to be on the 50 of Joey Smith. Goes to cross under Andrews. Thinks better of it. Gets loose and gets into Austin Thornton. Looks like it knocks the front end out of the 50 machine. He comes to a stop at the high side of turn number 4, bringing out the yellow. We're going to be coming down to 2 laps to go. Going to be a green-white checkered finish. Ryan Padgett going to lead us back. Green flag is in the air. Noah Bowman all the way to the fence going around Chad Griggs. A lot of contact. Griggs slides through the infield. And then Bowman ends up in the fence in turns 3 and 4. That's going to bring us back under a yellow. Got a lot happening there. Bowman to the high side of Griggs. Wheel-to-wheel contact. Griggs goes for right. Looks like it knocks the front end out of Bowman's car. Gets some help from Jackson McLean. Ends up climbing the fence and rolling back down the speedway. That's going to set us up for a 1-lap dash to the finish. Here we go, coming down to the final restart. Going to be a 1-lap dash to the finish. Ryan Padgett, Jackson McLean, and Scott Thomason now your top 3. Padgett fires McLean's right to his rear axle. McLean with the slide job. Padgett with the momentum. He's going to cut down, throw a slider of his own. Coming to the stripe, it's going to fly for Ryan Padgett, the number 98. Jackson McLean second, Scott Thompson third, Byron Gay in fourth, and Wade Fields going to round out your top 5. So, folks, your A feature winner tonight for the first 305 sprint car race in B-Main Bandits history, the Crow Racing Aces Up Sim Sports, Scott Thompson Racing, number 98 of Ryan Padgett. Finishing second tonight, he's out of Paris, Tennessee. The B-Main Bandits, 5150 Racing, AMT Racing Services, number 81 of Jackson McLean. And rounding out your podium, coming to you out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, that's going to be the Passing Points Podcast, Scott Thompson Racing, Aces Up Sim Sports, number 6 of Scott Thomason. That's going to do it tonight for the 305s from Limaland Motorsports Park. A feature rundown looks like this. Your winner is going to be Ryan Padgett, the number 98. Jackson McLean, Scott Thomason round out the podium. Byron Gay and Wade Fields round out your top 5. Andrew Thornton, Austin Thornton, Noah Bowman, Cody Kennedy, and Chad Griggs going to round out the top 10. Joey Smith in 11th, Mike Henry Jr. in 12th, and rounding out the field tonight going to be the Maniac, Matt Moniak. If you enjoyed that, sit tight. We got 410s coming to you from Lanier. Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime here at the Lanier National Speedway. We got 14 cars going for 30 laps around the High Bank 3/8 mile here in Brazelton, Georgia. And your starting lineup looks like this. Starting shotgun on the field tonight in the 14th starting spot. The Passing Points Podcast, Aces Up Sim Sports, Scott Thomason Racing, number 6 of Scott Thomason. Starting to his inside, rolling off the 13th starting spot after a rough heat race, Scott Thomas Racing, Aces Up Sim Sport, Greg Hodnett Tribute, number 012, that is the Bullet, Bowen Smith. Starting outside of row number 6 tonight, in his first 410 sprint car start out of Corunna, Michigan, the Kyle Larson Tribute, number 63 of Cody Kennedy. And to his inside, rolling off in the 11th starting position, the Surge Performance, number 11 out of Spencerville, Ohio, that is Byron Gay. And getting into your top 10 starters, starting outside of row number 5, he comes to you out of Joplin, Missouri. The AMT Racing Services B-Main Bandits, number 69 of Austin Thornton. Starting to his inside, rolling off in the 9th starting spot, making his debut tonight with the B-Main Bandits Racing League. That's going to be number 46 KYB machine of Ricky Mandonka. Starting P8 on the grid, the winningest driver in B-Main Bandits history, 45 all-time wins, comes to you out of Paris, Tennessee. Jackson McLean Racing B-Main Bandits, number 81 of the Wonder Boy, Jackson McLean. Starting to his inside, he represents Indy Race Parts Esports, hails out of Springfield, Illinois. That's going to be number 24 of Noah Bowman. And moving up to the outside of row number 3, Coming to you out of Granbury, Texas, the B-Main Bandits, AFT Racing Services, number 31 of Andrew Thornton. To his inside, rolling off from the 5th position tonight, he comes to you out of Jefferson City, Missouri, the Scott Thomason Racing, Advanced Sim Racing, Aces Up Sim Sports, number 27 of Chad Griggs. Rolling off from the 4th starting position tonight, he's out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, representing Indy Race Parts Esports. Number 53 on the wing, registered number 71 is Wade Fields. To his inside, rolling off 3rd, you saw him win the 305 race at Limaland, the Crow Racing, Aces Up Sim Sports, Scott Thomas Racing, number 98 of Reckon Ryan Paget. And moving on to your front row, scheduled to start outside pole tonight out of LaPorte, Texas, the 5150 Racing B-Main Bandits, number 50 of Joey Smith. Looks like he's electing to drop to the tail of the field, which will put Wade Fields outside front row. And your pole sitter tonight, via the invert, the Steve Kinzer tribute, driver out of Hudson, North Carolina, Mr. I Can't Turn on Dirt, that is the 08 of Richie Joplin. Ladies and gentlemen, you have 14 cars going for 30 laps around the Lanier National Speedway. Sit down, strap in, and hold on tight as we get rowdy and go for a ride on the wild side with the B-Main Bandits 410 Sprint Cars. Go. Field comes into turn number 3 out of turn number 4. Joplin Field's going to lead us down. Joplin on the loud pedal, hikes the front end, gets into Ryan Paget, getting into turn number 1. 3 wide behind, and we stay clean and green. Ryan Paget going to lead the field now into turn number 3, working the low side. Andrew Thornton and Chad Griggs right behind him. Wade Fields rolling the high side. Thornton through the middle. They're 3 wide for the 2nd spot down the back straightaway. Paget rolling up to the high side, blocks the run of Fields. Thornton down to the low side. He's looking for the lead into turn number 1. Out of turn number 2, he's got it down the back straightaways. They're 3 wide for P2. This time by Andrew Thornton going to lead lap number 3. Ryan Paget's rolling around the high side, sticking to his guns. Chad Griggs now around him on the inside. Cody Kennedy rolling slow on the bottom, and that's going to bring out a yellow. First caution going to be charged to the 63 of Cody Kennedy. He just gets into the slick and puts her down nose first into the inside wall. That'll draw the first yellow of the evening. As the field's going to come back to green, Andrew Thornton, Ryan Paget, Chad Griggs, your top 3. Green flags in the air. We're racing once again here at Lanier. Take a ride with Chad Griggs around the Lanier National Speedway. Rolling real low and slow on the speedway. Right to the tail tank of Ryan Paget, looking for P2. Everybody following in the tire tracks of Thornton up front. A little further back in the pack, Bowen Smith making his way forward, currently scored in the 6th position after starting P14. The Bullet trying to make his presence known in his first start with the B-Main Bandits. Wade Fields currently running in the 5th spot. Most of the field trying to roll around the bottom side of the speedway. Who's the first car up top? Austin Thornton real sideways through the slick. He's going to lose a spot to Byron Gay. Gay rolling the middle of the speedway, the only driver not around the inside. Andrew Thornton out front has 7/10 of a second advantage over Ryan Paget in P2. Paget and Griggs still going at it for P2. Noah Bowman starting to make his way through the field. He runs right through the slick. Up to the cushion this time by. Got a big run down the back straightaway. Does he have anything for Griggs and Paget? Rubs the ball just a little bit. He looks like he's going to try to clear both of them. Currently scored P3, but now he's moved up to P2. Goes and slams the door on Paget. Sets his sights on Thornton. Thornton continues to lead, but that lead is shrinking. little further back, we got some action going on back here between Wade Fields, Jackson McLean, and Bowen Smith back for the 5th spot. Chad Griggs, Ryan Padgett still side by side now for P3. Noah Bowman working his way around the high side. He's challenging for the lead. Thornton rolling around the low side of the speedway. Noah Bowman trying to get around him on the high side. Bottom starting to burn off. Noah Bowman's going to lead lap number 15. Now working lap 16. We're halfway home. Bowman inherits the lead. Andrew Thornton now going to try to change up the line. He goes up to the high side to try to find some momentum. Opens the door for Chad Griggs. Griggs starts to pass him up for P2. Battle for P2 down the back straightaway. Chad Griggs has got it. Thornton abandons the high side, goes right back to the bottom, try to get back around Chad. Not going to do it. Chad Griggs clears him for P2. Noah Bowman working top shelf, making it work for him, already up to 0.8 of a second advantage. Thornton not giving up that second spot easily to Chad Griggs. Griggs with the better run down the straightaway. Thornton trying to stay right down to the one patch of grip that's there. Currently holds on to the 3rd spot. And Jackson McLean and Bowen Smith making their way through the field. Bowen Smith right up to the cushion behind Ryan Padgett. Padgett has a misstep, and that's going to bring out a yellow. Bowen Smith comes to a stop on the front straightaway. Looks like everybody's going to be able to clear him. Oh, except the last 2 cars in line. Joey Smith, Austin Thornton both get into the back of Bowen Smith. There we go, coming back to green. Only a handful of laps left to go. Noah Bowman, Chad Griggs, Andrew Thornton going to be your top 3. Noah Bowman with a great jump. Starts working lap 21. We got 9 laps to go. Ryan Padgett working around the high side of the speedway, being challenged by Wade Fields for the 4th spot. Scott Thomason starting to make his way through the field as well. Currently scored P5. He gets around Fields. Ryan Padgett working the high side of the speedway up to P4. Take a ride with Ryan Padgett on the left front. Rolling around that high side. Tucks in behind Andrew Thornton and now runs underneath him. Down the back straightaway. A little bit of contact between him and Thornton, it looks like. Padgett back up to the high side of the speedway. See if he can make any ground on Chad Griggs and Noah Bowman. Out front, Noah Bowman looking at 4 laps to go this time. Gap just about half a second to Chad Griggs running in 2nd. Ryan Padgett is holding 3rd. Scott Thomason's up to P4. Byron Gay now up to 5th. Andrew Thornton dropping like a rock after leading this race early. He's all the way back to P7 that time by. Come down 2 laps to go for Noah Bowman. Chad Griggs has worked it to within 0.2 on the gap. Now they're side by side for the lead down the back straightaway. Contact. Chad Griggs in the middle of the speedway. Bowman working the high side. Chad Griggs is leading as we come around 1 lap to go. Does Bowman have anything for him? Down the back straightaway into turn number 3, out of turn number 4. Bowman last-ditch slider, nothing doing. Chad Griggs is going to bring home the A feature win for the first 410 sprint car race of the season. So your A feature winner tonight comes to you out of Jefferson City, Missouri. The Aces Up Sim Sports, Scott Thomason Racing, number 27 of Chad Griggs. P2 tonight comes to you from Springfield, Illinois, the Indy Race Parts Esports, number 24 of Noah Bowman. And rounding out your podium, wins the 305 race, finishes 3rd tonight with the 410 sprint cars. That's the Crow Racing, Aces Up Sim Sports, Scott Thomason Racing, number 98 of Reckin Ryan Padgett. Well, folks, that is going to conclude all the racing festivities tonight here from the Lanier National Speedway. Final A feature rundown shakes out just like this. Chad Griggs going to be your winner. Noah Bowman in second. Ryan Paget rounds out the podium. Scott Thomason and Byron Gabe ran out the top 5. Jackson McLean, Ricky Mandonka, Wade Fields, Andrew Thornton, Austin Thornton round out the top 10. Andrew Thornton definitely dropped like a rock in those final 3 laps. Went from running 3rd to finishing 9th. Joey Smith, Cody Kennedy, Bowen Smith, and Richie Joplin going to round out your 14-car field tonight here at the Lanier National Speedway. Folks, if you enjoyed tonight's racing action, be sure to tune in next week as we go Outlaw Winged Micro Sprint racing at the Kokomo Speedway, and the Winged 360 Sprint cars will take on the Charlotte Motor Speedway dirt track with their first appearances of the season. If you'd like to find some more information on the B-Main Bandits Racing League, be sure to check them out on Facebook or on iRacing. Search B-Main Bandits Racing League. You can find us on iRacing at League ID 7114. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you in the next one.